Hi everyone, today we're going to go over the Craft Club box for October. And here we'll start taking out everything that our kit came with. First, I'm just going to take off the tape around the bubble wrap and take out all of the items. This is going to be your bundle of jute that you're going to use to make your tassel, followed by your wooden round. You could use the front and back side of this. Then you'll have two chalk paste colors, one orange tiger and one coal black. Your kit also comes with a mini squeegee, followed by a whole bunch of beads. You should have 20 natural and 12 orange, followed by the fall minis, which are half fall and half Halloween. These are so cute. All right, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and move everything around so it's easy to start our project. You'll get a look at everything that your kit comes with, as well as a few extra items that we'll need to be able to complete our project. The first item I'm going to bring in is just a little towel. Kitchen towel will be just fine, and a small pair of scissors. You then want to go ahead and open up your stencil, and what you're going to want to look for is which designs that you're going to want to put on your tassel. Right now I'm deciding between three, so I'm going to go ahead and put them, and hopefully two of these speak to me by the time that we need to complete that part of our project. After cutting my stencils, I just want to make sure that I like the design that I'm going to have on my wooden round. So I bring these down just to eyeball them, and I've decided on the two that I want. One says, "Oh my gorge, y'all," and the other one says, "Happy Halloween." Now later on in our project, we're going to fuzz, but I wanted to quickly go over that with you guys. We do this to pick up a little bit of lint, and usually we use our Magnolia design tacky towel, but we wanted to show you how easy it would be to use even your household items to complete this project. And we'll come back to this a little bit later, but for now, let's go ahead and start completing our project. What you're going to want to do first is go ahead and unravel all of your jute that came into your kit. Then you're going to take your wooden round, and using the hole on the very top, you're going to go ahead and knot this a few times. You want that to be really good and sturdy. After making those knots, you're going to want to grab your scissors and simply trim off that excess piece. You can see this one is super sturdy. Now I want to make sure that I have no knots in my jute, because for the next step, you're going to want everything as simple as possible. This starts the fun part. We're going to make our tassel now. What you want to do is grab one end of the jute and put it in your hand and wrap it around your four fingers spread apart about 20 to 30 times. This is going to determine the length of your tassel end. When you feel like you have enough and you like it, go ahead and trim and hold it very firmly in your hand. With another piece of jute, you're going to go under the bundle of your hand and slide it very easily to the tip top. You're going to want to have your strings the same size and go ahead and cut those. What you're going to go ahead and do with them is tie a knot, and this is going to secure your tassel. You also want this really, really strong, so I suggest putting a few knots in there, not just one. After you've made those knots good and tight, you're going to want to trim the excess off of both sides of your knot. For this next part, you're going to want to have your jute very straight and simply cut the circle to make strands. After making those strands, you're going to want to turn it inside out to where your knot is closed off at the bottom. This forms the top of your tassel. To secure all of your strands together, you want to take a piece of jute and wrap it around the tassel a few times. This will form its tassel head. When you like the design, go ahead and trim the excess And again, you're going to want to put a few knots in these. You really want that to stay in place. After you form your tassel, you're going to want to make sure that the middle of the tassel is wide enough to fit a piece of jute in there. I also wanted to go back here and trim a little bit more because I didn't like the beginnings of it when I first cut them. So now that my tassel's done, I'm going to go ahead and start stringing my beads along. A quick tip right here, I took a piece of tape and wrapped it around the end of the jute, and it really helped the beads go on very smoothly. Since there are 20 natural beads and 12 orange beads, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed up this process. Once I have all my beads on there, I'm going to simply pull them down to where they're almost touching my wooden round. I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess jute that I have. With the jute I just cut, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the middle of the tassel, straight through the hole, and what this is going to do is secure the tassel to the garland. When you get the jute through the middle, you're going to want to put quite a few knots right here at the very end. You really want this secure. Once the tassel feels strong enough, go ahead and trim the excess as close to the knots as possible. With any remaining parts, you can go ahead and shove it right back into that very last bead. That'll help it stay put a little bit more. I'm now going to start picking up my station and moving a few items around so we can go ahead and start stenciling on our tassel. I'm going to go ahead and open my 2 chalk paste first, and then I'm going to take my stencil off of its backing sheet using a side-to-side motion and put it on my kitchen towel. This is called fuzzing. You're going to want to do this just a few times, lifting some fuzz up and placing it back on the towel just a few times. You then want to put your stencil onto your wooden round and smooth out all of the bubbles. After that, you're going to want to put a small amount of chalk paste on your squeegee and simply work it into the design. Here, I use 2 different colors. I use part of the orange tiger and the other half is going to be that coal black. In between colors, I wipe off my squeegee so the colors don't mix. After my entire design is covered, I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I peel from the bottom to the top in one fluid motion and set it aside to wash for future use. Look how cute that is. Now we're going to give it a few minutes to completely dry so we can go ahead and stencil the backside. I sped that part up for you guys. So doing the second stencil, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take it off its backer sheet and go ahead and fuzz it just a few times. The more light you pick up, the easier it is to peel off the surfaces that you're using. After fuzzing, go ahead and line it up, make sure it's on your wooden round the way you would like it, and gently smooth that down to where you have no bubbles. This time I'm going to try a thing called a hot mess technique. Here we just dab in just a few places with 2 different or multiple different colors, and it makes it to where it's more like a camouflage look. After you've applied your paste, you're going to want to squeegee it down in one fluid motion, trying not to mix some of the colors. Once you're done, you're going to lift from the top to the bottom and simply peel it to reveal it. Look how this one turned out, so cute. So I have one side, oh my god, the other, happy Halloween. I'm so excited for this project, and I hope you are too.